Okay, perfect. Working as intended. Okay, so this is a rare recording of this because I screwed up big time earlier, but let's go through. This is a TSON Craft update where short version. I think this is working. I believe this is just some absurd amount of energy. Let's just check. Cave. Yeah, this is an absurd amount of energy just going down this line, all pumping into this one battery because reasons. So this update is to cover 2.6.0, the energy update, which isn't just that, but here's a brief showing of what happened in this. We also have 2.6.1 installed. There is a crash fix, and that's what we're actually using, but that was no game mechanic changing I saw in the configs. So quick coverage of what's going on there. There's no new blocks or items added that are functional. Like I look here and I think this is actually slightly more items on the screen than there used to be. But I think that's mostly because he's just made some modifications. There's these here, which some things got some recipe reworks, I think. That's because basically what happened is, you look here. I'm gonna actually go through with him and help him, tell him that maybe you should just add every metal to plate dot blah blah blah. Certainly should be. You shouldn't ever have a metal that's not registered as a plate. He has registered to gold and iron properly as OR dictionary. He should actually OR dictionary everything in this. It's good form if anything. But the big thing is we're here just to talk about things such as so all those energy related bugs you saw, as far as I know, have been fixed. The big thing is the hydrator now has you no longer put the bucket here, you put it here. I brought to his attention that problem, and either he noticed it himself or whatever, and he fixed that. There's just a few things that needed to be tidied up. As if I'm going to make a video, I'm not going to just go and make a video and say screw it to the developer. I'm just not for it. So anytime you see me do videos, I do tell the developer, hey, I made this, check this out, let me know if I got anything wrong, I'll rectify it, and I intend to do updates, which is what I'm doing here. So the energy update, for the most part, very little change. Numbers really changed. You'll notice that he's multiplied everything by 10, just added a 0. He's no longer using decimals in text stage. This has to do with a lot of mods don't actually use, like, the actual math isn't designed with them thinking using small numbers. Like the reason why you typically see mods going 10 is the lowest unit that you'll see, like it uses 10 whatever per tick rather than just 1, and it generates 40 rather than just 4, and that it all has to do actually with, because then you have to deal with decimals. And to avoid this, a very common trick is just to multiply everything by 10, so that rather than using 1.1 you're using 11. It looks tidier. That's really all it is. It just looks prettier, and that's what he's done here. That's just very common in games. That's why in a lot of games you'll have 100 hit points, but you won't see an enemy that does less. You won't ever see, but every enemy will be doing a lot of, like, doing damage that's 10 or whatever damage up. It's just that's why a lot of games don't work with smaller numbers. They work with bigger numbers. It's not just to make things look impressive, it's to make math easier. And it's all about the math behind the scenes. So the only thing I wanted to really show you here is we're going to look at this here, the furnace, and what we're going to do is we're going to get out, let's go with iron ore. So if I just put that in there. You can tell right away this is much smaller. We're going to drop an energy upgrade because this lowers the energy cost, which is needed for this to work right. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start dropping an upgrade. These upgrades make a small, more minor difference. But if you get in, say, 64 upgrades like that, it feels like it's about an item at every other tick. Like, I would actually have to look at that. That's so quick. The tick rate's next to non-existent at a full stack. Let's just try something. Let's see. Well, maxing out both of those. Yeah, you can do 16 on a full charge that fast with that. That's gives you a good idea of the energy. And there we go. And now we'll just finish it up. The other, I showed you the changes made to the hydrator, and it's just really this is a numbers thing. A lot of bugs were fixed here. The machines were all slowed down. The upgrades were reworked from instead of using 8, you use up to 64. They've all been nerfed. This was all to do with balance. He did say, like, point something out where I'm going to show you, because this was, since the hydrator didn't seem to have any recipes, he was like, hey, there's actually a feature in JEI where you can show recipes, and I didn't know about this. I'm not familiar with the features of JEI. I know NEI fairly well. I don't know JEI yet. I'm still learning every little hidden feature in it. I'm sure many people are. And here's just a couple of things. If you look, like, what this does is it's kind of a unsmelter for a lot of items. It can turn 4 red sand into 1 clay. It can make a poisonous potato not poisonous. It basically works by adding water to it, making cobble into mossy cobble, lava into obsidian, brick into clay, stone bricks into mossy stone, for water bottles turning sand into clay. It's a really simple machine. The alloy smelter, actually I wonder, let's do this. Yeah, we can see here's what the plate former does. The electric crusher, it has its recipes. Like, everything just does its thing. Let's see, oh god. This is messy. This is a messy screen that you should be told about. Alloy smelter. Real simple. As I believe I've said, we've got some more ore dictionary support. This means, like, you can use other mod slime balls in some of his recipes now. You couldn't do that before. I found that quite frustrating, and I brought it up to him. That's just covering what can be done here. My advice to any future mod developer, when you see something, one of the best things to do is go on Forge, the Forge wiki, the official Minecraft Forge wiki. Go in and look under common ore dictionaries, and look at what it says that it, like, Forge actually adds a whole bunch of items to ore dictionary. For example, if you're making a recipe, you put a name of something in quotes when you're making the recipe. When you're putting in that function in Java, this is all programmer stuff. I'm not going to type out the entire line code. I don't even think it would fit here for a recipe. But that there is actually an ore dictionary. This feathers are ore dictionary as feathers. A lot of people don't know that. Slime balls are ore dictionary. There's a lot of things that are ore dic. There's a lot, and just know what's ore dictionary, guys. That's all I have to say. If you ever see even one other mod with your thing, or dictionary it. There's a lot of conventions for it. Just do it. That's my tip to every mod developer out there. Find out every single item that's commonly or dictionary. Learn the format that the community kind of uses, because there is a standard to it, and just do things in the org dictionary way. I strongly suggest the org dictionary. Now, the Tech path isn't the only one that got some changes, and we're going to cover that. Oh, we'll just go here, and I want one of those. We'll take one of these. Oh, what's something that has an absurd cost that's on the screen? I don't see anything actually. He definitely needs to start adding energy values to a bunch of his stuff. I'm sure he'll get to it eventually. This purple matter block has a pretty funky thing, but let's not use that. I don't like that. And then we got a transmutation table. So just so you can see what it is. So if you remember before, when I put this in here, it was, and I put down the sky furnace, it was all sent to that. Well, now, if you look, it stopped. There's energy here, here, here. But the vast majority is here, and it's not leaving. Everything now has a cap of the energy it can hold. And I kind of can guess how this is operating. I know how these specifically are working, these energy nodes. What they are doing is they are this is pushing its energy out into this, which has a buffer equal to its transfer size. Then that's pushing all of its energy into the next one, which is pushing all of its energy into the next one, which is pushing all of its energy into the next one. And that's just what's happening. And so these are, but they're not just pushing this way, they're actually pushing in every direction. Which is why, if I look, it's here, right? And this is just, each one fills up and then pushes along, so that much energy is here, then it's sent to here, leaving open for this to accept more energy, and that's sent to there, leaving this to accept more energy from here, which gets it from there. And so on and so forth until it fills up one of these. So you understand the background information. I am, of course, guessing at this, but that's how it appears to be working, and that's enough to work with it for now. A lot of these mods actually have really complicated energy systems behind them. Sometime look into the ENET mechanics of IC2. And this just makes it so that you can add things to a network afterwards and actually have the energy you expect in it. This is interesting. I don't know why this isn't transferring anymore. There might actually be a limit to how much it I may have actually broke his system there. I don't know. I will be informing of this video. So if I broke something unexpectedly, well, there it is. But in theory, the magic energy transfer should be a lot nicer now. You probably aren't going to be using with this absurd tier. If you're anything like me, you're going to be sticking to, I believe it's this tier, the light tier, which is very high throughput. You can just slap one of these down. And once again, he has fixed nearly every bug that I saw. And this is incredibly quick. Like, you can't react quick enough to this. The other thing that this really benefits with is once this fills up, you can still use this table for actually working at it, because before you basically just use generators. And this actually encourages things like having multiple machines on one network rather than just having several sub-networks, similar to, say, how you used to do it with BuildCraft before it went RF and you had storage methods. I believe that should cover everything in this update. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've covered it all. It's just a bunch of rebalancing. He's really improving the balance of the mod as he goes. I know he's in the background working on some really cool changes. I'm really excited just of some of the things that he's seeming to be working on. And he's got a lot of really cool ideas. I honestly think the guy might have the worst curse in the world where you have so many ideas you just don't want to know what to work on. And I'm really excited where this goes. I think in maybe 3, 4 more months, this will be a mod that can you'll start seeing alongside things like Thaumcraft on a regular basis. It wouldn't actually interfere with Thaumcraft too much. It's really cool, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of this. But that all said, I'm Squirrel Crewer, and thank you all for watching. This is the little bit of an update on TSON Craft, and bye bye.